The bar is the kind of place where deals are made in hushed tones, dim lighting, rich mahogany, the soft clinking of heavy glasses. Jessica, 22, her eyes bright with a joy that seems to outshine the whole room, raises her champagne flute. Across the small table sits her best friend, Chloe. Chloe grinning. To Jessica Vance, executive assistant to the CEO of Sterling Innovations. I still can't believe you're going to be working in that glass tower. You officially have the best view in the city. I don't know about that. I'll probably be too scared to look down. It just doesn't feel real yet. This job, Chloe, this changes everything for my family. No more worrying about rent. Maybe I can finally help my mom with her medical bills. I just can't mess it up. You won't. You're the most responsible person I know. Now stop worrying for one night and let's celebrate. First round's on me, but the next one's on the future corporate big shot. They clink glasses. As Chloe leaves for the restroom, Jessica moves to the crowded bar to order their next round. She feels a little out of place, her simple black dress modest compared to the designer labels around her. She leans against the bar, soaking in the moment. That's when she notices him. A man, Alexander, Alex, Sterling, 26, slides onto the stool next to her. He's effortlessly handsome, in a tailored suit, but with his tie slightly loosened, as if he's just escaped a long day. He nods politely to the bartender and orders an old-fashioned. Jessica orders her drinks, and in her slightly tipsy celebratory haze, she turns back and picks up the freshly made old-fashioned from the counter, thinking it's one of hers. Alex. Excuse me. I think that's my drink, but I admire your taste. Jessica freezes, her cheeks flushing crimson. She looks down at the drink in her hand, then at him. He's smiling. A warm, genuine smile that crinkles the corners of his eyes. There's no judgment, only curiosity. Oh my God, I am so sorry. I'm just celebrating a little, I guess. New job. A new job. That definitely calls for a drink, even if it's someone else's. Let me get you one of your own. What are you celebrating? Their conversation flows with an impossible ease. They don't talk about work or money. They talk about dreams, about the pressure to live up to expectations, about feeling like an imposter in a world that seems to have it all figured out. For the first time all night, Jessica doesn't feel out of place. She feels seen. The air between them crackles with an undeniable chemistry. The bar noise fades away until they're in their own bubble. His hand brushes hers as he reaches for his glass. The touch is electric. Before she knows it, he's leaning in and she's meeting him halfway. The kiss is soft at first, then deepens, filled with all the unspoken energy that had been building between them. The rest of the night is a blur of intoxicating moments. A shared laugh as they stumble out of the bar, the cold night air hitting their faces. The silent elevator ride up to a luxurious hotel suite nearby. The feeling of his hand in hers. Interior, hotel suite, morning. Sunlight streams through a gap in the blackout curtains, striking Jessica's face. She groans and slowly opens her eyes. The room is opulent and unfamiliar. Her dress is draped on a chair, and beside her, sleeping peacefully, is the handsome stranger from the bar. Panic, cold and sharp, cuts through the fog of her hangover. My first day. I have to be there at 9. The new CEO is coming at 10. Moving with the stealth of a cat, she slips out of bed. She gathers her scattered clothes, her shoes, her purse. Every rustle of fabric sounds like a gunshot in the silent room. She glances back at the man in the bed, his face soft in sleep. A pang of regret hits her. Not for the night itself, but for the way she has to leave. There's no note, no goodbye. There's no time. She slips out of the hotel room, the heavy door clicking shut behind her, sealing the night away like a dream. She runs down the hallway, her heels in her hand, praying she can make it home, get ready, and walk into her new life as if the last 12 hours never happened. Interior, Sterling Innovations, Executive Floor, Day. Jessica arrives, breathless but on time. The office is a marvel of modern architecture. Glass walls, sleek furniture, and a panoramic view of the city that makes her stomach flip. A friendly HR manager shows her to a large, elegant desk right outside a formidable corner office. HR manager: "This is you, Jessica. Welcome aboard. Mr. Sterling is doing a company-wide introduction at 10 a.m. in the main lobby. He likes to meet everyone on his first day in a new building." As the manager leaves, another woman, Vanessa, 28, impeccably dressed, saunters over from the marketing department. She leans against Jessica's desk, looking her up and down. The new girl. "Listen, a word of friendly advice. Mr. Sterling is a genius, but he's all business. He has a reputation. He doesn't mix business with pleasure. Ever. The last girl who got too friendly was gone by the end of the week. Just keep your head down and do your job." The warning, delivered with a smug smile, sends a fresh wave of anxiety through Jessica. Before she can process it, an announcement calls all staff to the lobby. Interior, Sterling Innovations, Lobby, Day. The lobby is packed. A nervous energy fills the space. Jessica stands near the back, trying to be invisible. The double doors to the entrance swing open, and in walks Alexander Sterling. He's not the relaxed, smiling man from the bar. This is CEO Sterling. He moves with an aura of confident authority, his expression sharp and focused. He wears a perfectly tailored, dark navy suit that makes him look like he belongs on the cover of a magazine. The blood drains from Jessica's face. Her breath catches in her throat. The room seems to tilt on its axis. It can't be. The world suddenly feels very, very small.
Alex begins to speak, his voice calm and commanding, but his eyes scan the crowd. Then they land on Jessica. For a split second, his professional mask slips. A flicker of confusion, of recognition crosses his face. He falters for a microsecond, his mind racing. Her eyes, where do I know those eyes from? Before he can dwell on it, an aide is at his elbow, guiding him toward the department heads. He gives one last, lingering look in Jessica's direction before being swept away. Jessica's legs feel like jelly. She's not just working for a new boss. She's working for the man she spent the night with, a man with a reputation for firing women who get too close. The next 3 weeks are a masterclass in anxiety. Jessica is hyper-professional, almost robotic. She calls him Mr. Sterling, keeps her emails brief, and never meets his gaze for more than a second. Alex, in turn, is a demanding but fair boss. Yet the tension between them is a constant, unspoken presence. He often finds himself watching her, trying to solve the puzzle of her familiarity. One afternoon, in his office, he speaks to his personal assistant. "David, I need you to do something for me, and it needs to be discreet. 3 weeks ago, on a Thursday night, I was at a bar called the Alcove. There was a woman there. Find out who she was." Vanessa, passing by the slightly ajar door, overhears the request. A predatory gleam enters her eyes. She sees an opening. That evening, she finds David in the break room. "I heard Alex was asking about that night at the Alcove. I was actually there. We had the most wonderful conversation. I was just too nervous to say anything at work." The lie is set. The next day, Alex, armed with this new information, invites Vanessa to dinner. The date is a disappointment. He finds her conversation shallow, focused on money and status. The easy chemistry, the genuine spark he felt with the woman at the bar, it's completely absent. But clinging to the memory, he convinces himself he must be mistaken, that maybe the magic of the first meeting can't be replicated. He agrees to see her again. Meanwhile, Jessica starts feeling unwell. A persistent nausea in the mornings, a new sensitivity to smells, a deep, unshakable fatigue. She dismisses it as stress, but the fear grows. One evening, her hands trembling, she takes a pregnancy test in the tiny bathroom of her apartment. She waits for 3 agonizing minutes. Then she looks. 2 pink lines. Positive. A sob escapes her lips. She slides down to the floor, her head in her hands. She's pregnant with her billionaire boss's child, a boss who is now dating her backstabbing colleague, a boss who will think she planned this, that she's a gold digger trying to trap him. Her career, her reputation, the future she worked so hard for, it all feels like it's about to shatter. Her performance at work suffers. She's pale and distracted. Alex notices. He calls her into his office one afternoon, closing the door behind them. "Jessica, is everything all right? You haven't seemed yourself this past week. If something is wrong, you can tell me." His voice is filled with genuine concern, and for a heart-stopping moment she considers telling him everything. But then she pictures the look on his face, the disappointment, the accusation. She sees Vanessa's triumphant smile. She can't. Jessica, looking at her shoes, "I'm fine, Mr. Sterling. Thank you for asking. I think I just ate something that disagreed with me. I'll be fine." The lie tastes like ash in her mouth. She sees the concern in his eyes turn into a flicker of disappointment before he schools his features back into a professional mask. The wall between them grows even higher. Interior, Jessica's desk, day. After a week of the initial shock, Jessica has forced herself into a fragile routine. She survives on sheer adrenaline and an unwavering focus on her tasks. Today is critical. A quarterly review with the board of directors. She has spent days preparing Alex's presentation binders, perfectly organized with color-coded tabs and flawless printing. They are a testament to her efficiency. She stacks the 10 binders neatly on the corner of her desk, ready for the 11 a.m. meeting. Vanessa emerges from her department carrying a latte. She stops at Jessica's desk, her smile as artificial as the sweetener she probably uses. "Working hard, I see. Trying to impress the boss? It's cute. Mr. Sterling, and I were just talking last night about how passion is so important in the workplace." Jessica offers a tight, non-committal smile, refusing to engage. "The binders for the board meeting are ready." "Oh, wonderful! Let me see." As Vanessa reaches for a binder, she makes a theatrical, clumsy gesture, tripping slightly. The latte flies from her hand, splashing in a perfect, disastrous arc across the entire stack of pristine binders. Brown liquid seeps into the pages, warping the paper and smearing the ink. Panic seizes Jessica, cold and absolute. The meeting is in less than an hour. She looks at the ruined binders, then at Vanessa's face, which holds a flicker of undisguised triumph. There's no time for accusations. Jessica, voice steady despite her racing heart, "It's okay. Accidents happen. I'll fix it." Without another word, she scoops up the soggy mess and practically runs to the print room. It's a frantic race against time. Her hands fly across the industrial printer, reloading paper, collating, binding. She moves with a desperate, focused energy. Meanwhile, Vanessa reports the incident to Alex's personal assistant with feigned regret, making sure to emphasize how flustered and overwhelmed Jessica seemed. With 2 minutes to spare, Jessica walks into the boardroom, her face slightly flushed but composed. She places a perfect new binder in front of each board member and one in front of Alex. He looks from the pristine binder to her, a new, unreadable expression in his eyes. He saw the ruined stack on her desk just moments before. He says nothing, but a seed of respect and suspicion towards Vanessa's clumsiness is planted. Interior, fancy restaurant, night. Alex sits opposite Vanessa at a table draped in white linen. She's recounted a story about a shopping trip, but he's barely listening. His mind keeps drifting. Vanessa: and the manager at Chanel was just telling me that this particular bag is nearly impossible to get. But you know, when you have a certain eye for quality, people notice. Alex: what are you passionate about, Vanessa? Besides fashion, what drives you? The question catches her off guard. It's a question meant to find depth, to connect. It's the kind of question he would have asked the woman at the bar. Vanessa, forcing a laugh: well, success, of course. Being the best. Isn't that what drives everyone who matters? Alex looks at her, and for the first time, he allows himself to feel the full weight of his disappointment. The connection he's been chasing isn't here. It feels like he's trying to have a conversation with a beautifully crafted but hollow echo. The memory of his easy, profound conversation with the woman at the bar, Jessica, though he doesn't know it, feels more vivid and real than the person sitting right in front of him. Interior, Sterling Innovations, boardroom, day. A few days later, Jessica is taking minutes in a high-level strategy meeting. The room is stuffy. The smell of coffee is overwhelming. Suddenly, a wave of intense nausea rolls over her. She presses her hand to her mouth, her skin turning clammy. She tries to breathe through it, but it's no use. She's going to be sick. She stands up abruptly, knocking her chair back slightly. All eyes turn to her. Jessica, her voice thin: excuse me for a moment. She turns and flees the room, one hand clamped over her mouth. Alex watches her go, his brow furrowed with genuine concern, momentarily losing his train of thought. The stress is becoming unbearable. That evening, after the positive pregnancy test confirms her worst fears, the weight of her secret feels crushing. The next day at work, she's so pale and visibly weak that a colleague insists she see a doctor. Unable to argue, she agrees to go to an urgent care clinic near the office. As her emergency contact is her mother, who lives hours away, she leaves Alex's name as her supervisor. Interior, urgent care clinic, day. Jessica is sitting on an examination bed, the paper crinkling beneath her. A doctor has just confirmed she's 6 weeks pregnant and suffering from hyperemesis gravidarum, severe morning sickness, aggravated by stress and dehydration. They've given her IV fluids, but she still feels fragile and exposed. The door to her small room opens. She expects a nurse. Instead, it's Alex. He looks completely out of place in the sterile medical environment. His suit is immaculate, but his tie is gone and his expression is etched with a deep, personal worry that shatters his all-business facade. The clinic had called his office to inform them his employee was being treated for severe dehydration and exhaustion. He had left in the middle of a meeting. Alex: Jessica, they told me you were here. What happened? Are you okay? He crosses the room in a few quick strides, his eyes searching hers for answers. Seeing him there, so genuinely concerned, her carefully constructed walls begin to crumble. The urge to break down and tell him everything is overwhelming. Jessica, her voice barely a whisper, tears welling in her eyes. I haven't been feeling well. The doctor said it's just exhaustion. I need to rest. Exhaustion? You ran out of a board meeting yesterday. You collapsed at your desk today. This is more than that. Jessica, what's going on? He reaches out, as if to touch her arm, but stops himself. The space between them is charged with unspoken history and a terrifying new reality. She's carrying his child, and he's looking at her with a raw concern she knows would curdle into suspicion and anger if he knew the truth. Jessica, shaking her head, pulling away. Please, Mr. Sterling, I'm just tired.
I just need a few days off to rest. That's all. The use of Mr. Sterling is a deliberate shield, a desperate attempt to push him back into his role as her boss. It works. He recoils slightly, his expression clouding over with frustration and hurt. He nods stiffly, his professional mask slowly being rebuilt. All right, Jessica. Take whatever time you need. Just take care of yourself. He turns and leaves without another word. Jessica watches him go, and then finally lets the sobs she's been holding back rack her body. He came for her, but his kindness only made her secret feel heavier and the situation more impossible than ever before. Interior, Jessica's apartment, day. For 3 days, Jessica stays home, the blinds mostly drawn. Her small, neat apartment feels like a sanctuary and a prison. She's physically recovering with rest and proper meals, but her mind is a whirlwind. She sits on her sofa, a cup of herbal tea untouched on the coffee table, and stares at a framed photo of her and her mother. Honesty is a strength, not a weakness, even when it's the hardest thing to do, her mom always said. Lying to Alex at the clinic felt like a betrayal of that principle. The stress of maintaining the lie, of working side by side with him every day while Vanessa flaunted her fake relationship, was literally poisoning her. She walks to the bathroom and looks at her reflection. She doesn't look sick anymore. She looks tired, yes, but there's a new resolve in her eyes. She places a hand over her still flat stomach. I can't do this to you, she whispers to her reflection. I can't bring you into a world of lies and stress. And I can't keep destroying myself.
Her decision solidifies, painful but clear. She cannot go back to that office. The only way to tell the truth with any shred of dignity is to first remove herself from the power imbalance. She won't be his subordinate asking for something. She will be a woman, on her own 2 feet, stating a fact. She opens her laptop and with steady fingers begins to type her letter of resignation. Interior, Alex's office, day. Alex is at his desk, but he's not working. He's staring at the city skyline, replaying the scene at the clinic over and over. Jessica's fear, the way she flinched when he tried to get close, the cold shield of Mr. Sterling. It doesn't add up. It wasn't just professional distance, it was self-preservation. But from what? From him? The door opens and Vanessa strolls in, holding 2 coffee cups. I thought my favorite CEO could use a pick-me-up. You've seemed so distracted since your secretary took her sick days. Her tone is light, but there's a possessive edge to it. She places the coffee on his desk and leans against it, trying to look seductive. Alex, however, feels a sudden wave of irritation. Her presence feels intrusive, superficial. He looks at her, really looks at her, and decides to test a theory. You know, I keep thinking about that night at the alcove. There was such a genuine energy in our conversation. I remember you were celebrating something important. What was the occasion again? Vanessa's smile tightens for a fraction of a second. The open-ended question hangs in the air, a clear test. A flicker of panic flashes in her eyes before she conceals it behind a confident facade. Oh, of course. It was just a big win at work. I had just finalized the projections for the new Q4 marketing campaign. It was a huge deal for my team, a lot of hard work paying off. The answer is smooth, plausible, and perfectly tailored to impress a CEO, but to Alex, it feels completely hollow. He remembers the pure, unadulterated joy in the woman's eyes at the bar, the kind of radiant happiness that doesn't come from finalizing projections. It was the life-altering thrill of a new beginning. For the first time, a concrete sliver of doubt enters his mind. The disconnect is too vast. He's not just disconnected from Vanessa, he's starting to believe she might not be who she says she is. Interior, Alex's office, later. There's a soft knock on the door. Come in, Alex calls out, his voice tired. Jessica enters. She looks different. The fear and anxiety are gone, replaced by a quiet, sad resolve. She is holding a single white envelope. She walks to his desk and places it gently in front of him. Jessica, Mr. Sterling, this is for you. He looks at the envelope, then back at her. He doesn't need to open it to know what it is. Alex, standing up, his voice filled with disbelief. You're resigning. Jessica, why? If this is about needing more time off, take it. Take a month. We can hire a temp. You're the best assistant I've ever had. Don't leave because you're unwell. I appreciate that, sir. More than you know. But my decision is final. My health and other things have to be my priority now. But there is something I felt you had a right to know before I left. She takes a steadying breath, her hands clasped in front of her. She meets his eyes directly, without fear. Jessica, I'm resigning because I can't handle the stress of this job in my current condition. The reason I've been so sick is that I'm pregnant. The words hang in the air between them. Alex stares at her, his mind reeling. Pregnant. The sickness, the hospital, her exhaustion, it all clicks into place with devastating clarity. He feels a pang of guilt for pushing her to work so hard. Then his mind logically connects the dots based on the reality he knows. A baby, a partner, a future that doesn't involve this office or him. Alex. His voice is low, a strange mix of shock and what sounds like disappointment. I see. I had no idea. Well, in that case, congratulations. You and your partner must be very happy. It's the perfect out, the clean break she was hoping for. All she has to do is nod and walk away, and yet hearing him say it, hearing him unknowingly erase himself from the picture, sends a sharp pain through her heart. But it's safer this way, for everyone. She gives a small, almost imperceptible nod. Thank you, Mr. Sterling. I wish you and the company all the best. She turns and walks out of his office, the quiet click of the closing door sounding like a final, definitive slam. Alex is left standing alone in the vast, silent room, feeling a profound and inexplicable sense of loss. He didn't just lose an employee. He feels like he lost something he never even realized he had. Interior, Alex's penthouse apartment, night. The city lights twinkle below, but Alex doesn't see them. He stands in his vast, minimalist apartment, a glass of whiskey untouched in his hand. Jessica's words echo in his mind, I'm pregnant. He feels a hollow ache, a sense of loss that makes no logical sense. Why should he care so deeply? He barely knew her, but his gut tells him otherwise. His instinct, the same instinct that helped him build a billion-dollar company, is screaming that he is missing a crucial piece of the puzzle. He replays their interactions, her terror when he was announced as CEO, her hyper-professionalism, the way she looked at him at the clinic, like a cornered animal. And then he thinks of Vanessa, her hollow answers, her desperate need to impress. He remembers the feeling at the bar, that instant, effortless connection. It was real. What he has with Vanessa is not. A sudden chilling thought strikes him. What if it's all a lie?
He can't let it go. Driven by a force he doesn't fully understand, he picks up his phone. He calls his head of security, a man named Carter who can get anything done. Carter, I have a task for you of the utmost importance. I need the complete security footage from the Alcove Bar from a Thursday night about 6 weeks ago. All camera angles covering the main bar. I don't care what you have to do to get it. I need it by morning. Internal Alex's office, the next morning. Alex sits in front of his large monitor, a secure video file open. Carter has delivered. He clicks play. He watches the evening unfold in fast forward, his eyes scanning the faces, the interactions. He sees Vanessa across the room, laughing with friends, checking her phone. She never comes within 10 feet of his seat at the bar. The first lie is confirmed. A cold anger begins to simmer in his chest. He rewinds the footage to the moment he sat down. He slows it to normal speed. He watches as Jessica, glowing with happiness, comes to the bar. He sees the innocent mix-up with the drink. And then he watches them talk. He can't hear the words, but he doesn't need to. He sees the energy between them, the shared smiles, the intense focus, the way the rest of the world seems to fade away for them. He watches as they lean in and kiss. He hits pause. He zooms in on her face, illuminated by the bar lights. It's her. Of course it was her. The truth hits him with the force of a physical blow. A tidal wave of realization washes over him, and every confusing moment of the past month snaps into sharp, painful focus. Her panic on the first day, her constant fear of getting too close, the sickness she tried to hide, the absolute terror in her eyes at the clinic, her resignation, the baby. His baby. She wasn't trying to trap him. She was running from him. She was terrified he would think exactly what Vanessa had planned. She chose to lose her dream job and face pregnancy alone, rather than risk being seen as a woman who would use a one-night stand to get ahead. His respect for her deepens into an overwhelming awe, and his anger toward Vanessa solidifies into ice. Internal Sterling Innovations, Lobby, Day. It's 5 p.m. Employees are beginning to file out. Vanessa is walking toward the exit, laughing with a colleague, when Alex steps in front of her, blocking her path. His face is calm, but his eyes are glacial. Vanessa, a word. Vanessa, I was just leaving. Can it wait? No. It's about the alcove. I was reviewing some security footage. It's an amazing tool, isn't it? It shows you exactly what happened, and who was and wasn't there. Vanessa's face goes white. The crowd in the lobby instinctively slows, sensing the drama. I don't know what you're talking about. I've been reviewing some security footage. It's an amazing tool, isn't it? It shows you exactly what happened, and who was and wasn't there. Vanessa's face goes white. The crowd in the lobby instinctively slows, sensing the drama. I don't know what you're talking about. You lied to me. You concocted a scheme to deceive me, and you tormented an honorable employee who deserved nothing but respect. Pack your desk. You're fired. Security will escort you out. He doesn't raise his voice, but every word is a hammer blow. Vanessa is left standing there, utterly humiliated as the hushed whispers of her colleagues surround her. Alex doesn't give her a second glance. He turns and walks out of the building, his mind on one thing only: finding Jessica. Internal Jessica's apartment, hallway, evening. She's in her pajamas, about to eat dinner, when there's a firm knock on her door. She frowns, not expecting anyone. She opens it, and her heart stops. Alex is standing there, looking breathless, his hair slightly disheveled. He's not wearing his suit jacket. He looks not like a CEO, but like a man who has run all the way there. "Mr. Sterling, Alex, what are you doing here?" "I know." He says the words gently, his eyes full of a profound apology. "Jessica, I know everything. I saw the tapes from the bar. It was you. It was always you." Tears immediately spring to Jessica's eyes. The relief is so sudden, so powerful, it makes her dizzy. "I am so sorry. I am sorry I was so blind, and that I put you in an impossible position. The way you've handled this, trying to protect yourself, trying to do it all alone, you are the strongest, most honorable person I have ever met." He takes a hesitant step closer. "You told me you were pregnant, and I let you walk away. I thought there was someone else, but there isn't, is there?" She shakes her head, a single tear tracing a path down her cheek. "I am going to be a father, and I don't want to miss a single second of it. And I don't want to spend another day with the woman I've been searching for since the moment she walked away." I remember what we talked about that night, about honoring our family's legacies, about feeling like an imposter. I didn't feel like an imposter with you, Jessica. For the first time, I felt like myself. I'm not offering you a job. I'm asking if you'll let me be your partner in all of it. If you'll let me build a life with you and with our child. He reaches out and gently wipes the tear from her cheek.
In that moment, all the fear, all the loneliness she's felt for the past month melts away, replaced by a hope so bright it feels like the sun. She doesn't have to be strong and alone anymore. She steps forward, into his arms, and for the first time, everything feels right. Interior, a warm, sunlit living room. 1 year later. The room is filled with laughter. It's a home, not a showroom. Jessica is sitting on a comfortable sofa, bouncing a happy 6-month-old baby boy on her knee. She's radiant. She now runs the Sterling Foundation's new philanthropic division, channeling millions into community support programs. The front door opens, and Alex walks in. He drops his briefcase, and his whole demeanor changes from CEO to dad. He walks straight to the sofa, kisses Jessica deeply, and then tickles his son, who erupts in a fit of giggles. He sits down, wrapping his arms around both of them, a look of pure contentment on his face. "You know, I was thinking about it today. That wrong drink you took? You're never gonna let me forget that, are you?" "Never. It was the luckiest mistake anyone has ever made. It led me to you. To this." He leans in and kisses her again, a long, loving kiss filled with the promise of a lifetime of happy accidents. Was Jessica's decision to resign in order to tell the truth brave or reckless? What would you have done in her place? Let us know in the comments. Loved this incredible life lesson? For more emotional stories that will inspire you, hit that subscribe button now and ring the bell so you never miss a new video.